into my liar.
Pick me because I have a big mouth.
No, it's not.
I didn't realize it was going to.
You didn't think it was going to be up here?
No.
You thought I was going to let you sit back there?
Yes.
No. No. So I asked Betty some questions that she's gotten over the years as she's been doing it. And one of the questions I want you to answer for us is, are you afraid when you work at the shelter?
That is the biggest question I get all the time. And I tell them, number one, I tell them I'm in God's house. So, no. And I'm not. I really am not. And I won't lie. There was one night, there's always somebody that you just watch, you know. But not every time. There was only one I could say this year. And, but other than that, that's the answer I give them. Because, and I go, if that's the way I'm going to have to go out, that's the way. You know, so, no, I really, that's what I say.
Okay.
So, and I believe that.
People ask you, and I've heard this myself, why don't they just get a job? Why are they homeless? Like, just what do you answer when you hear that?
I tell them they're just like us, and I said, there's jobs out there, yes, but there's so many things that you have to do for that. I mean, you have to have a car to go there usually. You have to have a home to shower, all of that, you know. But I just tell them, I explain too, many of them have substance abuse problems, or whatever problem they have, and they can't afford a home or whatever. So it's not that easy, you know, it's just not that easy to just go and do that. And some of them do, actually, they do. They have a job and then they try to get up and go, but it's not as easy as just saying, why don't you work, you know?
It makes us all appreciate our jobs and what we can do, right?
Do, and, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you get out of volunteering at the shelter?
Well, the first thing is, besides the guests, I've met a lot of people. I mean, I don't know, some of these people in there, you know, Kim's shaking her head over there, and Kim being a minister, it's great. I get to talk to her at 1 in the morning, you know, I mean, she guides me, you know. But I've met a lot of nice people, and that's what's really good. And you do realize what you have. I go home, I usually do the earlier shift, and I go home, it's 2 in the morning, and I lay my head on my pillow, and I realize what I have. And that is a reminder every time. So that's what I get.
Well, thank you for doing that. And I would like to share, there's some postcards out on the front table. It's called 100 Hands of Hope. And that was Betty's idea. She's like, why can't we ask more people to do this? And so we created, with your help, the 100 Hands of Hope program. So last year, we came pretty darn close to 100 new people. So if you want to just take a card, you only have to ask one person, and it's a really easy thing to do. You don't have to sign up to be a whole volunteer and do the whole thing. It's just do one shift. So it's an easy ask. So Betty, thank you for the idea, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Liza, would you like to come up next? Come here. That's why I said we're going to interview them because they know when you want to come up front, right? Liza is the most enthusiastic fundraising person I've ever met in my life.
I think you should just call me your next victim.
Okay, you're my next victim. Liza, what was it? How did you find the Blackstone Valley Emergency Shelter and find out about us?
So not necessarily the most proud moment, but I was doom scrolling Facebook. That's a lot of times where you can get some good information, unfortunately lots of town information or information about schools, and I spend a lot of time there as well. So I was doing that and looking for, you know, something positive, something to reach out to that wasn't, you know, awful news that we see every day. And I saw just a form, I think it was just a Google form. Check here for all the things that you're interested in. And I was like, boop, 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 boop. And I looked back, actually, it was the January 29th. And on February 4th, you texted me. Or we had a conversation. I think we were playing phone tag because I worked during the day out of the home. And I think I was getting my car fixed, and you were just so accommodating of my crazy. And I was like, this might work really well. And so that's the long story, I guess, about how I heard about you. But again, there's lots of terrible things to see on social media, especially. So it was something really positive that I thought, I want to know more about this, and I'd heard about the shelter, but that's why I'm here.
Oh, great. Thank you for at least reading to some of my posts. Thank you so much. When you think back on the tasting event that you helped so diligently with, what were your impressions of it?
I was personally just taken aback by the collaboration. So again, I was welcomed in by this amazing group of, sorry guys, but it was all women at this, as far as the planning. So I see Liz is here. I'm not sure if Michelle is here, but just the, as I mentioned, as far as the time frame, this was already done. There she is. The event was basically cooked as far as like things happen. And I asked questions. I'm not shy necessarily. So yeah, I started asking questions. I'm like, okay, so tell me about this raffle. Like, explain to me how the methodology works behind this. And in that short span of time, you brought me right into the conversation. You allowed me to make any suggestions that were probably many of them bogus or wouldn't work with this venue, but you were very encouraging, and I just felt it was such a positive environment to be a part of, especially coming into it at like the 11th hour. So that was my impression. I just think you're all so amazing. I was taking notes, just the stats of all the people that you served last year, and I just want to echo, like, you guys are incredible.
Thank you. And so you're so enthusiastic. If anybody came to our tasting event and she was manning the whole night, she manned the Nashville poster thing, and you could not get by her, just so you know. But it wasn't, but it wasn't like you were like getting dragged into something awful. She was just so fun to talk to, and you were so enthusiastic. What makes you want to keep going with all that enthusiasm for us?
Again, I just think you all are so wonderful. It was really like a team effort, I felt like, with the planning committee. It wasn't just, it didn't feel like anyway, just me out there hawking tickets to Nashville. It was kind of like you would come out, and then I think there's a guy here that you might know that was coming out as well to give me a hard time about selling those tickets. So you all were just,
the guy in the front,
it was her husband.
That's my husband.
So he let me go for a good, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes at the very beginning of the event, and I'm, sweating, and I'm like trying to get all my bullet points in of like what the event actually, like, you're gonna go to Nashville and like all these things, and he's like, We get all the way, and he goes, I'm Leslie's husband, so.
Thanks, buddy.
So.
Thank you for all you did. It was so great to have you on the team. We really appreciate her and everybody else that helped with that event. So thank you so much.
I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Mr. Petronelli?
Uh-oh, there it is. Are you over there? Are you coming up? Please? You don't tell a police officer to get up here. But we've had, gosh, I don't know, has it been 6, 7 years we've had our police partnership program. We call it the PPP. And Officer Petronelli is our liaison with 8 different communities. So he's really the point for all of the things that we do and try to share with all the police officers. And we couldn't have done it without him. So you're the man, just so you know. So I have a couple of questions for you. How do you think the Blackstone Valley Emergency Shelter has changed the way officers deal with people who are homeless or in a situation like that?
Well, prior to the emergency shelter coming around, it's been about 10 years, so it's been quite a while, but prior to that, us as a police department and officers, we didn't really know how to deal with homeless people. And it slowly started to become more of an issue. We had people living out of their cars, different parts of town. We would get notice of people living in the woods in tents. Some was on private property, some was in public property, but we just didn't know how to handle it, except move them along. That was really what it was, and a lot of the officers would just hopefully move to another town so there wouldn't be a headache. And that was the mentality 5 to 10 years ago, because other than that, we had no services. We didn't have anything to offer anybody. So our hands were tied, and we looked at it as a law enforcement issue more than a community issue that we needed to address.
And when you're saying that, do you feel like we gave you guys a third option? Because I think it used to be it was 1 of 2, right?
Right. luckily, as the shelter started to come about, the options now were, we had community outreaches for some of these people. And we weren't, our hands weren't tied to the point where we didn't know what to do. We had, all of a sudden we had the Red Roof Inn to get some people. We had, I work very closely with Jenna from the Board of Health, in visiting people and giving them options. We have advocates now, so when we find out, people are homeless, and people are coming up all the time that are homeless. People are popping up. So now we see officers now, they come to me, they tell me what the situation is, they tell me, give me all their information, and then I reach out, and then we go from there. But the shelter has been a savior for us. Ever since that's opened up, it's been a godsend to us as a police department, because now people have a place to go, and it's clearly very well run.
Well, thank you. That was my third question is going to be, do you think we're valuable?
Oh, and I can't take, I work day shift, so a lot of the shelter itself, I'm not around for, when the shelter is open. But valuable is an understatement when it comes to what it serves for our community and the surrounding communities, for everybody around, and how much it's grown. I mean, every year it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's gotten better and better, and more people are relying on it, and it saves us, because now we have a place we can tell people where to go, and we can tell they have a resource where, especially this past winter, it was so cold and it was so snowy, but we knew they had a great place to go, and it was clearly run very well, because I don't think we ever got called there once this year as a police department for any type of problems. It was almost an afterthought because it was run so well, and the volunteers. Again, you guys have a special place in heaven because you guys, do a great job, and it's as a police department and a member of the police department, it means a lot to us that you guys volunteer your time and help not us, but help the people of the community who are struggling.
And we help you too. Happy to do it. Thank you very
My
much.
pleasure.
Thanks for being here with us and taking time out of your day to do it. Thank you. Big round of applause. 8 police departments and peace liaison for all of them, so it's wonderful.